So if you make money, money, make money, money, money.
Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. On this channel, I like to talk about different ways to make your money work for you, creating passive income sources, making money on your phone, and some helpful tips here and there. Now, if you like this type of content, I'd appreciate it if you'd smash that like button, subscribe, and hit that bell notification, and you'll get notified every time I make a video in the future. Today, we're going over Celsius Network. We're going to run through the application, show you how to use it, also go over the company, and why this might be a viable option for you to gain interest on your digital assets. Now, before getting into this video, as always, I have to let you know, I am not a financial advisor. I am not a professional on this topic. So do your own research before opening this account or any other accounts I talk about in my videos. So, if you watched my last video on Voyager, this is very similar with a little better rates. Now I'm going to tell you why I only use this for some of my coins. So let's read this quick overview. We believe in a new economy. An economy where financial freedom doesn't come with a price tag. Where the interests of the people are put first. Where ethical behavior is the baseline. And where everyone, and we mean everyone, has the opportunity to succeed financially. With a little bit of humanity and honesty, and the power of a digital currency that's as strong as it is accessible, we are ushering in this new economy today. Celsius is proud to provide a platform of curated services that have been abandoned by the big banks. Things like fair interest, zero fees, and lightning quick transactions. Our goal is to disrupt the financial industry, one happy user at a time, and introduce financial freedom through crypto. Because the future of finance doesn't happen overnight. And who better to hear this from but Alex Mashinsky, who is the founder of Celsius.
It's really a very simple idea. So you get paid, right? You put your money in a bank account. The bank takes your money and immediately lends it to me on my credit card. They pay you less than 1% on your deposit, and they charge me 25% on my credit card, right? So they just do an introduction. Your money is lent to me. They keep 90% of the value or 95% of the value. So that is just a system that should not work. Most of us, if our real estate broker or insurance broker charged us 90% of the value, we would never work with them. So I decided to do something about it, and I think that is the killer, the application of basically eliminating the toll collector and creating a system that acts in our best interest is the purpose of the blockchain. It's the purpose of cryptocurrencies. So Celsius Network enables you to deposit your coins, it enables you to lend them to someone else, and you get to keep 80% of the value. So instead of losing 90% of the value, you get to keep 80% of the value. We charge much less for loans, so we will charge a borrower like me 9%, and we will pay you 5% back. So you would still keep most of the value to yourself. So it's a very simple concept, but no one has really put all the pieces together and came and said, hey, let's create an alternative to the banks, to the financial institutions that dominate our lives.
Okay.
So if you have cryptocurrencies, you can download our application, Celsius Network. We support about 16 different cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, and so on, Ripple.
The big ones.
Exactly. You can deposit those into the wallet. If you don't do anything, you just earn interest.
It's really showing you the banks could be doing this, but instead of giving you the interest they're making on your money, they're patting the pockets of the shareholders and themselves. So Celsius aims to disrupt this and give that money back to you. And on the site, you can look through the Celsius team. You can look through their leadership, their core team, their advisors, their tech team. So let's click on leadership. Co-founder and chairman Alex Mashinsky, who is the creator of Voice over Protocol. If you don't know what that is, look that up. You're using it every day. You can click on every team member and read a little bit about them and why they could be a trustworthy, necessary part of this team to succeed in the future. Just like when I look to invest in any company or cryptocurrency, one of the big things I look at is their team. What have this team done in the past that makes me believe that they can push this project through and be successful long term, not just right now? And the Celsius team does that for me. And the Celsius partnerships, CoinLend, Monarch, Ammon, Infinito, and Onchain. Now you could read a little bit about each one of these and see why each one is a major partner and why they don't just pick anybody to partner up with. So before we get into the app, I want to show you one more clip of Alex talking about how the banks trick you into thinking what they're doing is okay and safe, and what the crypto market is doing with platforms like Celsius is risky.
The problem is here, right? The problem is mental. It's not a technical problem. It's not an educational problem. For most people, when you tell them the bank pays 0.1 and Celsius pays 11.5%, so that's more than 100 times more. It's 115 times more. 115 times more. Now, it makes no sense whatsoever. Like even when I say that, I go like, wow, of course. Like when somebody promises you something that's too good to be true, usually it's too good to be true. So how is that possible, right? Just go back to the JP Morgan report, right? They make 15% return on equity. So why are they paying you 0.1%? So the problem is mental. The problem is that the banks and the financial institutions have done such a good job over such a long time, lowering your rates every year, lowering your rates, right? It's like that's what they do, right? It's over time. You don't even feel the pain. You don't even know that something is wrong.
So here's the app. Let's go over how it works. In the top right-hand corner, that's your profile. You have your link to refer a friend. Now let me tell you how this works. Earn $20 of Bitcoin when a friend joins Celsius with your referral link. So if you use my referral link, you'll get $20 of Bitcoin, and so will I. Now in order to get that $20, you do have to first transfer over $200 or more of any digital asset within 30 days of initial transfer. So open an account, and within 30 days, you can move $200 through any other one of your cryptocurrency brokerages or exchanges in order to make this happen. And if you're new to this space and don't have a lot of money in here just yet, say you open Voyager brokerage, which I reviewed in my last video, bought $200 of Bitcoin in Voyager, got that $25 of Bitcoin for signing up with Voyager, you can now transfer that money over to Celsius and get $20 of Bitcoin from Celsius. So you can use that same money and not have to put any more in. Now another thing to remember, now this isn't as simple as Voyager where you're just buying Bitcoin and if you want to sell it, just selling it. You would actually have to copy the wallet address or scan the wallet address QR code to move money from Voyager, for example, to Celsius. Now always make sure that code matches, or that Bitcoin or whatever you're moving over is lost and you're not getting it back. It's all part of being your own bank. Well, now you have to take responsibility for your own actions. So on here, you'll have your personal information, your security. It shows you what you have set up. And another must, you want to set up two-factor authentication, which with Celsius, they use Authy. Instead of, I'm sure you've seen text message two-factor authentication, which is a lot easier to hack, setting up two-factor authentication through Authy is way more secure. You actually have a new code popping up every 30 seconds. So if you set this up and go to log into Celsius, you will have to pull up your two-factor authentication code and put that in every time. It is more of a pain in the butt, but also protects you a lot more. And here on the main page, the total interest you've earned, as well as all your coins, what you hold, and the interest rate you're getting. Now you're seeing a lot better interest rates on, for example, Ethereum, Bitcoin, and USDC coin than you do in Voyager. Celsius does claim they don't have any fees. Yes, that is true. Celsius does not charge any fees. But if you bought coins from Celsius using your credit card, you're going to be charged a 3.5% ACH transfer fee. That's charged by the card company, not Celsius. But just think, that could take a big chunk out of your profits. It also shows you all the available coins underneath that you don't have. So if you hold any of these coins, you can move them over if you wish to do so. Just remember, there is that network transaction fee, and it varies from coin to coin. Now, as you see, a lot of these stable coins are earning 11.55% interest. I do have a little bit of USDC coin in here, and that was mostly just for a test. So I want to run you through one example using USDC coin. So say you open Voyager, and you're earning 8.5% on your USDC coin, and you deposited $1,000 into Voyager. You're not getting any fees whatsoever from Voyager. So that $1,000 goes into $1,000 of USDC coin. You are now earning 8.5% interest on that. So each month on 8.5%, you're making $7.08 of interest on that $1,000. Now, if you were getting 11.55% interest in Celsius, you're making $9.63 a month in interest. Now think about it this way. I found out moving my USDC coin from one exchange to another cost me a $5 transaction fee. So the difference between that 11.55% interest and that 8.55% interest in 1 month is $2.54. Just to cover that transaction fee, you're going to have to let your money sit in Celsius for 2 months just to be over breaking even, rather than just leaving it in Voyager. I hope that makes sense and is not too confusing. So unless you're moving a large sum of USDC over or other stablecoin, it might not make sense unless that interest rate is that much better. Now, if you hit the little sell button, you'll see your wallet, your transfers, your withdrawals, your community information, which this is really cool. This is where Celsius is above and beyond everyone else. They are 100% public with all of their information. It shows you their member counts, it shows you their total assets, it shows you what they have in Bitcoin, stats on all coins, total incoming transfers, total withdrawals, and members with active wallets. A lot of people make wallets and don't actually use it. Another thing that is really cool about Celsius is all the profits they make, they pay 80% back to the community. And they are a profitable company. A lot of these other companies trying to do what Celsius does and copying their model, which they did copy Celsius's model, aren't even profitable. And they don't have public records to show you where that money is going and how much of it is actually going back to you. Now, let me tell you, they're still better than the banks. Celsius is the most transparent out of all of them by far. But Celsius also does have what is called Cell Token. This is their utility token. It gets you cheaper rates on your loans if you are able to take out loans. Also, if you wanted to take your interest in Cell Token rather than the digital asset you are gaining interest in, you will get a higher interest rate. Unfortunately, American residents cannot earn Cell Token at this time. Also, another thing I love about Celsius is their customer service. They've actually gotten back to me within 24 hours every time that I've asked a question. And if you follow them on YouTube, they also have weekly AMAs where Alex Masinski talks every single Friday for at least an hour to an hour and a half. And he answers various questions asked throughout the community. And that's where you're going to get the new information about what's coming out next. He also goes over all the weekly rates between loans and which you can accrue interest on. Celsius is also supporting the Flare airdrop of Spark Token, with Alex telling us how this is supported.
All right, Jay's asking, thank you for supporting the Flare Network Spark Token. Will it become a regular asset on Celsius?
Let's see how they do. I mean, obviously, it will be given to you inside the Celsius wallet. So yes, it will be part of the wallet. But again, we need to find borrow for it. Like if it doesn't, it may be there at zero interest because no one wants to borrow it, right? So there's a big difference between adding it and between its earning yield. So we'll see how it does, and we'll see if we can earn yield on it.
And here are the weekly rates for October 16th through the 23rd. Here are your lending rates, and here are your weekly interest rates. So another thing I wanted to throw out there that I spent some time on, I created a list that will be linked in the description below of some must-watch videos that I think you should see if you're new to the space. People that can explain this way better than I can, and great YouTubers to follow to keep up on news that this is a space that moves very quickly. Now, you can use this platform for USDC coin to gain that high at 11.55% interest rate on, or you can just stick to something simple like Outlet Finance, earning you 6% right now, or Voyager at 8.5. But if you did want to dabble a little bit more in the cryptocurrency space, I'm just trying to set you up for success. Oh, and I forgot to mention, Celsius pays you every Monday. You get an interest payment every Monday. On top of that, I put together a spreadsheet of all the exchanges, brokerages, or anything in crypto that I've used, what they're offering as a sign-up bonus, what the requirements are to get that bonus, if any, as well as fees associated with that brokerage or exchange, and many more things. So check that out in the description below. This can save you a lot of money, as some of these cryptocurrency exchanges are located outside the US, and those international fees that you'll be charged on your cards sometimes are ridiculous. I learned this the hard way a few times, so I'm just trying to help you avoid that. So let me go over my pros and cons, and why I think, in my opinion, Celsius is the best out there. First of all, they give the highest yields on any coins that they offer, on top of the fact that they offer quite a few coins that you can gain interest on. Another thing I love about Celsius is their constant updates. They are always updating you quick with all their new news. So 2 places you want to follow them if you do want to keep up with Celsius: on Twitter and on YouTube. They're great customer service, and just overall they're very transparent. They are public with everything. You know everything going on in the community. You can look it up and they post it. They want you to see that. They want to gain your trust. And 80% of all the profit goes back to you. Another pro, their team. As we talked about earlier, they have a very strong, proven team. And my last pro, you get paid every Monday. So what are some of my cons? Honestly, overall, as far as Celsius itself goes, I can't find any cons. I can't find anything I don't like about this platform or any other platform that does something better than Celsius. Now, as the cryptocurrency market as a whole, it is a little bit more risky. It is volatile. It's a new asset class. It's only been around for about a decade. Now, there are many other platforms out here that try to do the same thing as Celsius. If you click at my exchange list below, you'll see many of them. I do have coins in other platforms. And that's mostly my security measure. By spreading out my cryptocurrency, if something does happen to one, yes, that does suck, but at least I didn't lose everything I have. Also, I keep some of my cryptocurrency offline. That is the safest way to secure your crypto. In the cryptocurrency world, they like to say, not your keys, not your crypto. If you don't hold your private keys, it's not really yours. You're trusting someone else, a centralized service, to hold those for you, or decentralized service, as some of these exchanges are extremely risky to hold cryptocurrency on. If you are new to this and only have a little bit in the market, keeping it on one of these more well-known exchanges or interest-bearing accounts is still pretty safe, especially if you set up two-factor authentication. But I just wanted to let you know the safest way is holding your crypto offline on something like Ledger Nano S. Now I digress, as I'm getting way off topic here. But that's my review on Celsius, so I hope you liked it. So if you did like this video, hit that like button, subscribe, hit the bell notification so you get videos every time I make them in the future. Sign up for that Celsius account, get your $20 of free Bitcoin when you use my link or someone else's, and give yourself a raise. I'll see you next time. So if you look to my left or my right, 2 videos will pop up. If you like this and you want to see more of what I have to offer, go ahead and click one of those.